Why do so few seniors utilize it to its fullest extent, and what is it? Let's investigate. 3. A silent healer for the aging body. Plain Greek yogurt. As we age, the silent process of healing, cell by cell, system by system, becomes more crucial than ever. Even though contemporary medicine provides a wealth of resources, there are easy, natural ways to promote that healing every day, beginning with the breakfast we eat. A bowl of plain Greek yogurt is one of the most underappreciated yet effective partners on this road. Greek yogurt may initially appear to be just another dairy product, but it is much more than that. Rich in probiotics, calcium, protein, and anti-inflammatory components, it is a therapeutic diet that helps the aging body regain its equilibrium and vigor. This cuisine provides a form of mild medication that no prescription can equal for seniors, particularly those who are suffering from chronic inflammation, weak bones, or intestinal discomfort. First, let's talk about digestion. The diverse and robust ecology of beneficial bacteria that inhabits our intestines, known as the gut microbiome, tends to deteriorate with age. Bloating, irregular bowel motions, or worse, a compromised immunological response, may result from this. Probiotics, or live-active microorganisms, are abundant in Greek yogurt and aid in repopulating this internal environment. Because of the complex gut-brain relationship, these good bacteria not only enhance digestion, but also increase nutritional absorption, lower inflammation, and even promote mental well-being. However, Greek yogurt's advantages go beyond the digestive system. It's a calcium powerhouse, and after age 65, calcium is especially important for women to avoid fractures and bone weakening. Greek yogurt has calcium in a highly bioavailable form, which means your body can absorb and use it more efficiently than it can from many other sources. In addition to its high protein content, it promotes bone density and muscular maintenance, both of which are essential for avoiding frailty and preserving our independence as we age. Greek yogurt's capacity to combat quiet inflammation, an imperceptible but potent force underlying a number of chronic ailments, including heart disease, arthritis, and Alzheimer's, makes it even more amazing. Greek yogurt helps soothe the body from the inside out since it is low in sugar, unlike flavored yogurts, and high in naturally occurring anti-inflammatory lipids. It provides more than simply physical nourishment thanks to its creamy texture and mildly sour flavor. It provides a sense of routine, comfort, and care for a lot of elders. A gentle, gratifying reminder that even the tiniest intentional actions can lead to better health. When you combine it with a tablespoon of flaxseed or a handful of berries, you've made a breakfast that does more than just satisfy hunger. It also protects, strengthens, and heals. However, some meals can subtly destroy us, while others can subtly repair us from the inside out. In the following part, we'll reveal 3 typical breakfast items that, without your knowledge, may be straining your heart, speeding up aging, and impairing memory. You'll want to listen carefully. 3. Breakfast foods. Seniors should steer clear of 1. Sugary breakfast cereals, the sweet beginning that slowly steals your health. They are displayed on shelves in cheery, colorful boxes with labels like heart-healthy, vitamin fortified, or whole grain. However, a lot of cereals that are marketed to senior citizens are everything but. Sugary breakfast cereals may be the most subtle threat that lurks on the breakfast table for seniors, particularly those who are trying to safeguard their heart, brain, and metabolism. Why are they so dangerous? The added sugars aren't the only thing. However, a single serving can include up to 30 grams of sugar, which is about the full daily allowance that the American Heart Association recommends. The mix of chemical additives and refined carbs causes a metabolic storm in the aging body. Your blood glucose rises sharply as a result of the sugar's rapid impact, giving you a surge of energy that rapidly wanes and leaves you feeling drained, agitated, and more prone to overeat later in the day. However, the harm extends beyond temporary exhaustion. You pay a hidden, cumulative, and intensely personal price for beginning your days with sugary cereals. Your insulin sensitivity is weakened by that daily uptick and downtick, raising your risk of type 2 diabetes, which already affects 25% of Americans over 65. It exacerbates chronic inflammation, which is now explicitly linked by research to neurological diseases including dementia, joint pain, and heart disease. Additionally, it encourages the storage of abdominal fat, which is metabolically active tissue that raises the risk of stroke and cognitive impairment. These cereals may have a light texture and a tiny serving size, but they are nutritious fakes. They are frequently devoid of beneficial fiber, packed with artificial vitamins that the body could find difficult to absorb, and flavored with chemicals that might upset the balance of the gut. Constipation, bloating, and even poor absorption of vital nutrients like calcium and magnesium can result for elderly patients whose digestion slows down and whose prescription regimens are complicated. There is also an emotional cost. Convenience or nostalgia are the main reasons why seniors pick these cereals, but over time, the ensuing energy slumps and mood swings can exacerbate feelings of melancholy or loneliness. When your breakfast is subtly working against you, it becomes more difficult to maintain your emotional equilibrium, physical activity, and cerebral acuity. It's time to reevaluate how much your morning practice of eating cereal from a box is actually costing you, not just in terms of sugar, but also in terms of strength, stability, and mental clarity. What about that other well-liked breakfast essential, though? The one that seems familiar, cozy, and even graceful, but might be weakening your bones and damaging your memory. You may be surprised by the following item on our list, which is most likely in your kitchen at the moment. 2. White bread, the morning ritual that weakens the body and erodes memory. A smooth slice of nostalgia that evokes recollections of simpler times, white bread is a comfort food for many elderly individuals. It's quick to toast, easy to eat, and frequently the foundation of a well-known breakfast. However, underlying its mild flavor and soft texture is a reality that is far from consoling. In addition to being nutritionally deficient, white bread aggressively undermines the systems that elderly bodies need to defend the most. Refined flour, which has lost its fiber, vitamins, and natural oils, is used to make white bread. All that's left is a fast-digesting, high-glycemic starch that functions similarly to sugar in the body. When consumed in the morning, it raises blood sugar levels sharply, which makes your pancreas release more insulin. Daily repetition of that cycle impairs insulin sensitivity, resulting in energy slumps, cravings, and eventually a significant risk of type 2 diabetes, which already affects millions of Americans in their senior years. However, the damage is not limited to blood sugar levels. The most obvious cost of eating white bread in the morning is the toll it takes on your bones and brain. Diets heavy in refined carbohydrates are associated with a higher risk of cognitive decline and early memory loss, according to an increasing amount of research. It's a subtle but serious mechanism. In the brain, refined carbohydrates can disrupt neurotransmitter activity and memory formation by causing low-grade inflammation throughout the body. White bread, however, makes no significant contribution to bone health. Its high phytic acid content can actually bind to minerals like calcium and magnesium, making it more difficult for your body to absorb them. Even if you believe you're doing everything correctly, this lack of mineral absorption can subtly speed up bone weakening in older adults, particularly in women who are at risk for osteoporosis. Additionally, many people don't discuss the emotional consequences. Because white bread is easier to digest and kind on aged teeth, seniors frequently choose it. Yet this very softness adds to a feeling of emotional and physical fragility. We begin to feel the same way when our diet is weak and unsubstantial. You are not entitled to a meal that turns into sugar and makes your body weaker than it was before you consumed it. You might be startled to learn that eating the wrong breakfast meal on a daily basis can raise your risk of chronic inflammation, heart disease, and memory loss, especially if you're over 65. And it's not merely conjecture. Long-term studies that were published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society support these conclusions. The disturbing aspect. Senior breakfast tables frequently feature a number of these unhealthy meals every morning. While posing as healthful, certain common breakfast options may be causing silent but significant harm, from blood sugar surges to impaired digestion and cloudy thinking. In actuality, a certain item that diet trends frequently extol has been connected to mineral loss and cognitive decline. Later, we'll disclose that. Don't worry, though. If you want to maintain your heart, brain, bones, and vitality after 65, we'll show you exactly which 3 breakfast foods to avoid, and, more crucially, which 3 to embrace. The best meal may be hiding in your refrigerator, and the most harmful may already be on your plate, so pay attention to the very end. In order to ensure that you never miss another personalized health tip, I advise you to ring the bell and subscribe if you haven't already. Type 1 in the comments if you like this video. If not, input 0 to tell me how I can improve your material. The elderly should eat these 3 kinds of breakfast foods. 1. Whole oats, a protective barrier for the heart and mind. As seniors navigate the intricate process of aging, every meal serves as much than just sustenance. It is a subtle yet effective kind of self-care. Among breakfast options, one common grain is notable for its exceptional capacity to safeguard your heart, brain, and longevity, in addition to its warmth and comfort. Whole oats are that grain. A soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which forms a mild gel in the stomach and intestines, is abundant in whole oats, especially steel-cut or rolled oats. This fiber reduces LDL cholesterol, which hardens arteries and raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes by binding to cholesterol particles and aiding in their removal from the body. This is a significant advantage for people over 65, as heart disease is increasingly prevalent and blood arteries naturally tighten with age. It's vital. However, the tale of oats is not limited to the heart. Additionally, these grains boost blood sugar stability throughout the morning, making them a brain-protective powerhouse. Blood sugar spikes and dips can cause more than just exhaustion. It exacerbates inflammation, which is the covert cause of cognitive deterioration. In a manner that sugary cereals or white bread could never provide, oats deliver energy gradually and consistently, promoting focus and mental clarity. This delicate balance can mean the difference between a day of irritation and a day of vitality for seniors who are concerned about memory loss or mental fog. Additionally, oats include important elements like iron, magnesium, and zinc that support neuron health, oxygen transport, and immunological strength, all of which naturally deteriorate with age. The diets of elderly persons, particularly those who live alone or eat fewer meals, frequently lack these nutrients. A straightforward act of feeding that tackles some of the most important biological changes associated with aging is adding oats to your morning meal. The emotional solace that oats can provide is even more alluring. In addition to providing nourishment, a warm bowl of oats, possibly flavored with cinnamon berries or a dash of almond milk, also provides a ceremonial sense of calm and centering. This peaceful morning routine can be a significant moment of stability and care in a society that frequently feels hurried or alienating to senior citizens. Therefore, despite their humble appearance in the cupboard, oats have the ability to improve digestion, strengthen bones, and stimulate the mind, all in one dish. It's no surprise that research from Tufts and Harvard have shown that those who routinely eat oats have longer, healthier lives. What if the food you eat next did more than just keep your heart safe? Could it keep your vision and memory intact? Let's discuss a breakfast option that is both incredibly beneficial for the brain and delightful. Please let me know in the first remark below if you're still watching and finding these insights useful. Let's now discuss point number 2. 2. eggs, strength for the body, nourishment for the intellect. One classic item has silently stood at the center of our breakfast plates for generations in a world where nutritional recommendations are always changing: eggs. This straightforward meal is much more than just a morning ritual for elders. It provides a nutrient-rich foundation for strong muscles, a healthy brain, and aging gracefully. Despite its diminutive appearance, one egg contains a complex blend of premium protein, vital vitamins, and brain-enhancing substances that are specifically tailored to the requirements of adults over 65. Our body's capacity to develop and sustain muscle naturally deteriorates with age. Weakness, falls, and a loss of independence can result from this condition, which is called sarcopenia. When eaten in the morning, when protein absorption is at its peak, eggs provide one of the most complete types of protein available, preserving muscle mass and physical resilience. However, eggs' potent impact on the aging brain is where their real magic lies. Choline, a vitamin that most Americans, especially older ones, lack in sufficient amounts, is abundant in each yolk. Acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter vital to memory and learning, is largely derived from choline. Low choline consumption has been associated in studies with a higher risk of cognitive deterioration and even the onset of dementia. Not only are eggs delicious, but they are also a daily investment in emotional stability, focus, and cerebral clarity. Eggs are one of the few natural sources of vitamin B12, which promotes energy production and nerve function, in addition to choline. Fatigue, balance problems, and even memory impairments can result from a B12 deficiency, which is frequent in seniors due to decreasing stomach acid. In a way that is soothing to the soul and easy on the digestive tract, eating eggs helps bridge that gap. And let's not overlook the eyes. The antioxidants lutein and zeaxanthin, which build up in the retina and guard against age-related macular degeneration, the main cause of eyesight loss in older adults, are also found in the golden yolk. These substances are best absorbed when they are found in natural foods like eggs, where their unique combination of fats and nutrients works in unison, as opposed to pills or fortified items. Eating an egg, especially one that has been poached or boiled gently, is a contemporary act of self-respect as well as a reference to tradition. It's an opportunity to provide your brain and body with the resources they require to flourish rather than merely endure. Eggs nourish the body and brain, but the next item we'll look at does something even more amazing. It lowers quiet inflammation, strengthens bones, and cures the intestines. There is an improved method, a more potent portion of whole grain-based nutrition that nourishes your bones and brain rather than depleting them. We need to discuss one more breakfast habit before we discuss the items you should eat. It is liquid, frequently chilly, and marketed as a healthy substitute, but it may be causing internal gastrointestinal damage and slowly aging your heart. Third fruit juice in bottles. The sugary beverage that ages you in silence. Pouring a glass of apple or orange juice into a tall, spotless glass seems like such a harmless way to start the day. It tastes like sunshine, feels light, and has a new appearance. Many elderly people associate it with vigor, health, and even childhood. However, there is a secret danger behind that lovely golden nectar that worsens your health, causes inflammation, and speeds up aging more than most people think. Fruit juice is frequently promoted as a health food, particularly the type that comes in bottles or cartons. However, the behavior of these bodily fluids is frequently overlooked, especially after the age of 65. Fructose, a naturally occurring sugar that, when ingested alone, strikes the liver like a freight train, is primarily what's left over after fruit is juiced and its fiber removed. Bottled juice enters your system in minutes, generating a quick surge in blood sugar followed by a severe crash, in contrast to whole fruit, which releases sugar gradually due to its fiber content. A few empty calories are not nearly as expensive as the price you pay for that delicious moment of satisfaction. Consuming bottled fruit juice on a daily basis over time leads to insulin resistance, which is a major cause of type 2 diabetes and affects over 1/3 of older persons. Additionally, it contributes subtly but destructively to the development of visceral fat, which envelops your internal organs and raises your risk of heart disease, cognitive loss, and even some types of cancer. Even worse, chronic inflammation, the unseen factor that is now generally acknowledged as a primary cause of aging-related illnesses like Alzheimer's and arthritis, is fueled by this sugar excess. Juice is like fuel on a slow-burning fire for seniors who are already struggling with inflammation in their joints, nerves, or digestive tract. However, there is an additional cost, a more sentimental one. Many older persons think that drinking juice is a wise decision, and when that idea is betrayed, it can cause bewilderment and mistrust. Juice has a familiar, cozy, and effortless feel. However, long-term vitality is frequently sacrificed for this convenience, depriving you of the very energy and clarity you had hoped it would bring. You get vitamins, fiber, and satisfaction from a slice of whole fruit. Drinking juice causes metabolic stress, blood sugar fluctuations, and a body that is less able to age gracefully. Not for the life you deserve, and not a fair deal. Therefore, keep in mind that clarity starts with what you eat as you think about what to put in your glass tomorrow morning. It's time to change the focus now that we've cleared the table of things to avoid. What if you could start with the 3 most potent things your body truly craves after the age of 65 and repair your health one easy breakfast at a time? Let's get started. A stronger you, a better morning. Breakfast has evolved beyond simply satisfying hunger as we age. It becomes a deliberate, silent act of kindness. We make that choice first thing every day. And those little choices have a lasting impact on our strength, lucidity, and quality of life that we may not always be aware of until later. It's possible that you've been eating the same things for decades due to comfort, convenience, or habit. That is entirely human. In actuality, however, your body no longer needs the same items that it did at 40 or even 50 years of age. The elderly body has a quiet yet distinct voice. It requires cleaner fats, more fiber, softer sweets, and genuine nutrition that promotes healing rather than damage. Making the correct breakfast choice isn't about fear or limitation. It's about quietly resolving to nourish your heart, shield your brain, maintain your bones, and reduce inflammation every morning. Your diet choices have the power to either accelerate or slow down aging. Therefore, let go of any meal on your plate that makes you feel groggy, drowsy, or uneasy. Traditions are not always meant to last. Additionally, welcome any new foods that seem strange but are healthy for your body, such as Greek yogurt, eggs, or oats. You can still change at any age. Actually, now is the ideal moment to pay closer attention to what your body is telling you. It is not possible to achieve health in your 60s, 70s, and beyond by doing everything flawlessly. It results from repeatedly performing the easy tasks. A single, simple change in the morning can have a big impact on a stronger step, a steadier heart, and a sharper intellect. Therefore, keep in mind that what you eat tomorrow is more than just food while you are standing at the counter or seated at the table. It's your day's first act of self-respect. Make informed decisions, eat with purpose, and allow each bite to bring you one step closer to the resilience, clarity, and vitality you deserve. Because living longer isn't the goal of aging well. It's about making your time more meaningful. The purpose of these lectures is to encourage you to live life to the fullest and most genuine. I would be delighted to hear from you now. Think for a moment, then share one item you've learned that you want to use in your own life. On this path of accepting these realities, let's help one another. Please feel free to leave a comment if you liked this video. Feel free to leave a remark with 0 if not. Your opinions are very important to us. For more videos like these, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and share our videos. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope you enjoy living your life as you see fit.